Hi guys, it's Savannah. I was in SI last year and I really enjoyed it. I hope you're all enjoying it now. I'm going to show you how to do your makeup for show choir and I think your hair leader. And so, first of all, the things that they give you are the eyeshadow palette, which is different than last year's, the blush, and then the lipstick. The things that they don't give you but you need to have is some kind of eyeliner that's going to show up, and it's not like purple or blue or something. It has to be black eyeliner, black mascara, and a foundation. You also need a powder and a brush to apply that powder, and you need a eyelash curler. This is necessary. There are some girls who weren't wearing it last year and their eyes didn't pop at all on stage. Things that I would really recommend to have is an eyeshadow brush for this, because it's going to be so hard to use the provided applicator for all of it. It's going to be really good for like the corner of it, which I'm going to show you in a minute, but I would really recommend getting something like this. You can get it from like Walgreens or Hy-Vee or somewhere really cheap. The same thing with a blush brush, because in show choir we need a lot of brush in theater in general. So get something that's going to apply it really well and a lot of it on. Also, for the foundation, you can use your hand and you can use a blush or a beauty blender that you already have, but you can also just use the sponge thing that you get at Walgreens or somewhere else really cheap. And also, just something that I recommend is a eye makeup remover. You can always just wash your face really well, but it could damage your eyelashes and different things, and it just doesn't feel very good, and it's really easy to take it off like this with this stuff for eyes and the rest of your makeup. So it's just what I recommend. Also, you need to like wash your face really well and moisturize before you start with anything, because that can get really bad acne and you don't want to be all broken out on stage either. Also, you need a pocket mirror or like a mirror about this size for it, because it needs to be able to fit in your bag, and it's just really inconvenient to have to borrow somebody else's mirror during show choir. And these are also really cheap. You can get them at Walgreens or Hy-Vee for really cheap.
Or Walmart, I think.
Walmart too. But I'm going to be using this one for the tutorial. To start off, you need to like prep your face, obviously, and then start with this. I like to put it on the back of my hand, but you can put it on a plate or whatever else you want to do. And then you can take your blush or your finger or whatever and just apply it in the areas of your face that get broken out, or that you need to do like a full coverage. Cover pretty much everything so that your whole face doesn't look blotchy or, gross on stage. And I look great, as you can see, but you need to blend it all out really well throughout your whole face so that it looks good. And don't forget to blend into your neck as well, because if you don't blend into your neck, it looks like you're wearing like a mask or like a shield on your face, and it can look weird. Also, make sure that you get a foundation that matches your skin tone pretty well. That way you feel confident and look great on stage. I also like to put foundation on the lids of my eyes, because then the foundation tends to stick to it better, and it just helps and
Eyeshadow,
helps make the eyeshadow stick to the eyelids. And for spots like this, you can just use your finger sometimes. But I would not use your fingers or your hands on your forehead really, because then if you're like acne prone like I am, because then it can make things worse. After you get the majority of your foundation on, you can probably move on to your eyeshadow. And I'll show you that
yeah.
here.
Do powder next or eyeshadow?
Eyeshadow. Actually, I suppose it doesn't matter. You could, if you're really into makeup stuff, you could do like baking right now, but that's not necessary. Alright, so for your eyes, you want to take the white with this applicator or your brush, it doesn't matter that much. You can take it here, and you want to put it all over your eyes, like almost up to your eyebrow, but not in it, you know? And really get a lot on there, because from 30 feet away, or even like 50 where the judges are, they're not going to see things as well if you don't put them on pretty heavy. Repeat that with the other side as well. For eyes and eyeliner and contour and different things in junior high, it's not as customizable as it is when you get a little bit older, because they just want them to be very, very uniform in junior high. So don't go crazy with like wings or contour, or definitely don't do highlighter, because then you look sweaty on stage and that looks disgusting in pictures. Alright, next you want to take the silver color right here and really go just in the crease and around. Make sure you get a lot on here, but don't go crazy. You can always go back and layer some more on if you don't have enough. The next thing is the blue. After you're done with this step, and you really cannot go crazy on this blue, because it's strong and really opaque, but it's really what's gonna make it look really unique, you know? And for this, you want to take the pointy end of the provided applicator and just put it in the blue very lightly, so that, like, I'd like to do it on the side to get more like control over it. And just through here is where you want to put the eyes. Like a corner almost.
Mm-hmm. And blend it in.
Show that to the camera real quick.
I'm not done.
Crease. Not too far in, but just see. And then blend it.
Kind of like that. And then clean off your brush that you used the silver on real quick, and just kind of blend it in a little bit so that it doesn't look weird.
Yeah.
And then duplicate that on the other side. Just the same way, except mirrored.
You need to add a little bit more in there. And you need to put more white in the corners.
That's a big thing too. You can just take your finger for this part in the white and then kind of put it right here in your eyes. It's kind of like a substitute for a highlight, but it really just makes your eyes look bigger and more open and brighter. And if you need to add a little bit more white towards like your eyelashes, you can do that too, because that's gonna affect things a lot. With eyebrows, if your eyebrows are really, really, really pale like mine and don't show up, you can put a little bit in, but with junior high show choir, they don't want you to put a lot in because then it won't look as uniform. Or somebody might not really know how to do their eyebrows very well and it won't show up well. That happened a lot last year, I think. So after you're done with the eyeshadow, you want to do your eyeliner. You can do a pencil or liquid, but either way, don't do wings. It's just until the end of your eye, kind of the end of where your eyelashes are.
It's just the top.
It's just the top lid too. And don't make it too thick, but you also want it to be noticeable. Kind of like that. You can kind of customize that to your eye shape, but don't go crazy with anything. And then just mirror that on the other side.
Are you gonna do powder next before you do mascara?
Yeah, next you want to do powder, or you could do powder before you even did your eyes, but you definitely want to do powder now because then you don't want to get powder all up on your eyelashes once they're all done up. You can kind of just, it's not as like strict as like other makeup places, but put it where your skin tends to get like oily. Like I get oil in my forehead a lot. And then again, blend into your neck so you don't look like a crazy person. Next, you want to do your eyelashes. So you take your curler, and if you have never done this before, you might want to have someone around you help you if you don't think you know what you're doing, because it can hurt if you don't do it right. But really, you just pinch your eyelashes in there and make sure to not get your eyelid, and just press down and hold it for 5 to 10 seconds so that it stays up and stays permed for a really big open eye look that you need for show choir. Make sure to get a mascara to put on after this that is good for your eyelashes, because my eyelashes don't like to cooperate, and mascaras like this that have more bristles help me with that. So you really want to get a lot on there, but don't make it look clumpy. Also, you can customize with fake eyelashes if you want, but make sure that you talk to your parent or guardian about that. Make sure you don't have any like allergies to the latex that is in the glue or anything. And
Try them out before you have your first
Yeah.
performance.
make sure you try them on before you put them on before performance. That way there's no issues.
Savannah, do we share makeup?
We do not share makeup because that is disgusting. There's so much bacteria in all of these things, and they can give you pink eye and different eye infections. And if you share like brushes, that has so much of your DNA and like gross stuff in it. If you put that on someone else's faces, they're gonna break out.
Keep going.
It's so gross.
Savannah, do we need to keep our stuff organized?
We do need to keep our stuff organized, because if you lose your stuff, you will have to replace all of it, and that is not cheap. Also, if you lose your stuff at a competition, you might not have everything you need, and then you're just the one kid who doesn't have what they need, and it's kind of embarrassing. You also put mascara on your lower lashes, but don't go crazy with any of this, because it can look really weird if you do. And if you need to, you can take your finger and press up your eyelashes another time to make sure that it gets all the way up as far as it can go. And later on, if you want to add another coat of eye mascara, like on your upper lashes, you can. After you've used all that stuff, it's time to put a lot of blush on with your blush brush and just pack it on there, you know? And what I like to do is like suck in my cheeks so that I know where the area that I need to apply the brushes, and make sure that you go upward circles starting from your cheekbone and kind of like smile at yourself in the mirror and go upward circles, kind of up into your temple, but don't go crazy up there either. So get a lot on too. I know the moms backstage are gonna be hounding everyone to put on more blush because you really need it, or else you'll look like a ghost on stage. There's lots of that in show choir and it does not look good. Get even amounts on both eyes too, both cheeks. And you'll probably have to reapply blush several times before you go on stage because it does wear off. And you need lots of it. You can put a little bit on your nose, but don't put too much because then you'll look sick. After you do that and you think that you're pretty much ready, you can add the lipstick. You make sure you put on like chapstick before this so it doesn't look cracky and gross.
Does this lipstick stain, Savannah?
It does stain. It gets on costumes and it does not come out very easy. So also don't walk around with like foundation on your hand or your lipstick out ready to like put it somewhere, because if you like brush it against someone's costume, that's gonna look so bad and that's gonna suck for that person because they don't want things on their costume.
Do we put on makeup before we get in costume?
Yeah. Make sure that you have all of your stuff done by the time anyone comes back in with their costume because you don't want malfunctions or before you're going on for a competition. I think that's it.